Yo, what's up, everybody? It is Fantasy NBA today. Ethos After Dark. Rick Hamla, Steve Alexander, Dr. A. He's got the Hall of Fame plaque above his left shoulder. What's going on, dude? Let's preview Tuesday night slate. What you got?
Yeah, let's do it. I was right about some things. I was wrong about some things. Having a tough week in the betting on sports department goes, but good stuff tonight. There's some good stuff.
There is, and it was an incredible weekend of basketball. We had the back-to-back with Jokic and Wemby. We had OKC beating Boston on Sunday, and the action has continued to be pretty good here again tonight as we come to you on Monday night, obviously previewing Tuesday. Want to tell you about our great sponsor, BetOnline. They continue to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. They've got touchdowns, three-pointers, hat tricks. BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. So, like I said, we preview Tuesday night slate. We start with the Houston Rockets at the Washington Wizards. A man named Bub, is he going to play? Right ankle soreness, he's questionable. If Bub Carrington plays, and he's a hot pickup for me right now, I write about him in the waiver wire article that either is or will be on SportsEthos Fantasy Basketball very soon. But will he play? It's important, Doc, because Malcolm Brogdon's going to miss this game. Right foot pain. He suffered that in the previous game, and we know Malcolm Brogdon's probably going to miss a month with this. Jordan Poole, left hip contusion. He's missed 3 games. Will he miss another? And Bilal Coulibaly missed the previous 2 games with an illness. Coulibaly probably comes back to play, but there could be some real expanse for Bub Carrington if these other 2 guys, if Jordan Poole does not play in this game. That's one of the main things I'm looking for in this game, Doc. Talk to me about Houston at Washington.
Yeah, we'll have to wait until I assume like tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon to find out if Bub is going to play or not. But if he does, I think you're right. I think he's going to have a good game. Although Houston's defense is no joke. Like they're good. So he might have some trouble. It might be sloppy, but he's like the only option, for them to go run the point. So I think Bub is probably a strong grab and plug and play for tomorrow, Tuesday.
If he plays again, you're going to have to keep your eye on that. We're just kind of setting the stage for you here. Jalen Green might miss his first game of the year. Probably not. He's questionable, right knee contusion. But wanted to let you know about that. Tari Eason's not going to play in this game. So this all equals Cam Whitmore. If you do not have Jabari Smith and you do not have Tari Eason, you have a Cam Whitmore game. It's not even about an Amen Thompson game anymore. He obviously is going to have a big stat line here, since he's been entering the starting lineup. But with Cam Whitmore, it's very dependent on Tari Eason. If Eason plays, then Cam Whitmore is not a guy. If Tari Eason does not play, then Cam Whitmore is a guy, Doc. So, and this is Washington's defense, right? Like this to me has Cam Whitmore game written all over it, whether it's a streamer, DFS, probably at a nice price. I think he's going to have a nice game.
Yeah, and Amen Thompson, I know he's good. He's already on rosters. You can't go out and pick him up, but man, he's hit double digits in rebounds in 4 of his last 5. He's got at least 19 in 3 of his last 6. He's coming off that 23-point, 16 rebound. What a monster. And he had a 5-block game right after Christmas. So I am loving everything about Amen Thompson right now. And your guy, Cam Whitmore, another sleepy, sneaky play tomorrow with those guys out, especially if Jalen Green doesn't play.
Cam Whitmore is either going to have 28 or he's going to have 8. All right. And I think he's going to be on the 28 side or somewhere thereabouts on Tuesday night. All right. So Phoenix at Charlotte. And obviously, a lot of angles to cover here with Phoenix and the benching of Bradley Beal, the benching of Yusuf Nurkic. Doc, I want to just kind of lay this out for you and our great audience here because there's a lot going on. Mason Plumlee started for Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic played more minutes than Plumlee. Iguodala played more minutes than both of them. Tyus Jones had his minutes shrink. Monte Morris basically played the same minutes as him in this game. Bradley Beal coming off the bench. Yes, had a good game on Monday night. Are we Monday? We are Monday. Whoa. But Bradley Beal had a good game. Almost had a point per minute. He had defensive goodies and a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. But, when you're off the bench, now let's say you miss your first 5 shots and Grayson Allen has hit 3 threes in a row. Does Bradley Beal get shrunk? Grayson Allen plays more, or Doc, your guy Royce O'Neal, right? Because you've got the big 3, you've got Plumlee, you've got Ryan Dunn. With Tyus Jones, I meant with Booker and Durant, with Beal coming off the bench, but Beal now is in the bench suit where if you don't really have it clicking, you can very easily stay on the bench next to your head coach. So take it from there with the new machinations and rotations that Coach Bud has there in Phoenix.
That's kind of mind-boggling because Plumlee started. Of course, I had him in my DFS lineups and other places. 13 minutes. And granted, Joel Embiid was out. So Philly was basically rolling without a center because Andre Drummond was also out. So they didn't really need Plumlee. They didn't really need Nurkic. So they rolled with the young guy, and they got a win, Iguodala, and they got a win. And it was a big win. And to your point, Bradley Beal came out and hit 10 of 15 shots. So he was on fire early, and he stayed on fire. Grayson Allen got 14 minutes. So Plumlee starts, gets 13 minutes. Ryan Dunn starts, he gets 27. Tuesday is going to be very interesting to see what happens here. I assume Plumlee's going to start again. I assume Ryan Dunn's going to start again. It'll be a totally different game for Beal off the bench in that one. And Devin Booker, 3 of 16 shots on Monday night. So that was not good. But hey, they got a win. They stopped the losing streak. They stopped the bleeding. Maybe everybody got along tonight. And also my guy, Royce O'Neal, is injured right now and did not play. So buzzkill.
Which concerns me about Beal, and it concerns me about Grayson Allen. Grayson Allen couldn't even find burn tonight in a non-Royce O'Neal game. Okogie played, and they had all these other guys playing minutes. And look, clearly they love Ryan Dunn. Okay, they are fast-tracking him, and he's going to get, I think, really sticky in that starting 5, maybe for years to come here. They obviously have a first-round pick invested in him. Now, for this game on Tuesday, Doc, I want to put the Phoenix Suns on upset alert. And I do have an ATS release for you and our people here on Fantasy NBA Today Ethos After Dark. I'm going to tell you right now to take Charlotte at home plus the 2.5 against the Phoenix Suns, because I don't believe that all is right in Hollywood right now or in Scottsdale right now. I don't. They won a game, okay, against a Philly team without Joel Embiid. I'm not really impressed. And the reason I say this, Doc, is because LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges, and Brandon Miller played in the previous game. They all played well, all right? So, and think about this. Second of a back-to-back for the Phoenix Suns. The Hornets are going to be up. It's a Kevin Durant game, all right? Just teams get up for that. Fan bases get up for that. It's going to be a night in Charlotte, okay? It's the only time Kevin Durant will play there all year. Assuming he plays, and if he doesn't, then obviously we all like this bet even more. But think about this, Doc. This is a big game for Charlotte. it's a very little meaningless nothing game for Phoenix. Phoenix on a Tuesday night at Charlotte, it doesn't get more low dough than that for them. And for Charlotte, it's one of the highest dollar games of the year. So I will take the Hornets plus 2.5. I had this 5, and then I went and looked at the number, Doc, and I was like, really? I'm only getting 2.5, which actually makes me like it more because the line is skinny, which, if it was like 5, I don't know, maybe that would have me thinking that Vegas knows something I don't. But the fact that this tells me that I'm not the only one on Charlotte to win this game tomorrow. So 7-6 ATS on the year, Doc. I got the Suns on upset alert.
I kind of like that. Charlotte, if you look at their depth chart and their roster, they're healthy. And they are rarely healthy this season. Brandon Miller, no red next to his name. LaMelo Ball, no red next to his name. Cody Martin, kind of playing well. Miles Bridges has been great. And, of course, Mark Williams is finally doing what we've been waiting to see for 2 years. So, I kind of like it. Plus, Phoenix is on the East Coast. Like, they're far away from home. It's like 18 degrees in Charlotte right now. They're not going to like getting off the bus to that. And Charlotte should be rolling tomorrow. I think LaMelo Ball is probably going to go off.
All right, guys. So wish me luck, and we wish you luck with that. If you want to roll the dice on that against the spread situation, maybe take the money line and add it to a parlay or something like that. Get a little freaky with it, whatever you want to do, and do that with Bet Online, of course. Before we move on to the next game, we want to thank you for listening to the Fantasy NBA Today podcast. We really appreciate your support out there. If you want to help us keep this going, it's simple. Go to SportsEthos.com and subscribe. Please do that. And then subscribe to the podcast and leave us a 5-star review. Now, Doc, ordinarily this would be a very high-profile game, but tomorrow night it will not be a high-profile game. It's the Lakers at the Mavericks. Okay, we've got no Luka, we've got no Kyrie. Boo-hoo. What I'm watching for in this game, Doc, on the Lakers side, okay, and you take it wherever you want to go. I do have just one Dallas thing for us. I'm watching Rui Hachimura versus Dorian Finney-Smith, Doc, because Dorian Finney-Smith keeps kind of going up, up, up. Last game, 26 minutes off the bench, 13-2-2, 2 steals, 2 threes, typical DFS, good, horrific line. And then Rui Hachimura, very typical, like he scored, he threed, and did nothing else. 13-1, 0-0-0. Still crazy, right? With 3 threes in 28 minutes. So very mirror image kind of stat lines here, more goodies on the DFS side. DFS, the box score likes DFS more than it does Rui Hachimura. And Doc, I'm just watching this, man. I want to see if Rui goes back to like 24 minutes a game and if DFS expands to like 30 minutes a game. It's sort of an ultra 6-man type of role. So that's what I'm looking for here. Take it from there, bro.
I'm kind of mad at my Mavericks right now. Like, they did not start a point guard on Monday night. Klay Thompson was the closest thing to it. It was all power forwards and Klay Thompson. Meanwhile, Spencer Dinwiddie was on the bench, played like 10 minutes in the first half and did absolutely nothing in this game. 6 points, 3 assists. He did play 30 minutes in the end, but they lost. They got beat by the Grizzlies. And I was just like, how do you have Spencer Dinwiddie with no Kyrie and no Luka, and you don't even play him? You don't start him. You don't start a point guard. I thought that was weird. I think Lakers get an easy dub tomorrow against Dallas, and this game loses a lot of luster, man, with no Kyrie and no Luka. So it's just a Tuesday night game. I think the Lakers are going to roll them, and if Spencer Dinwiddie comes off the bench and does nothing again, I'm going to be really bummed because I'm like touting Spencer Dinwiddie with no Luke out there. Like, how is he not being used any differently than this? I'm so confused by what Dallas is doing right now.
And Dr. A, welcome to Jason Kidd's Fantasy Basketball Trap. Do you remember that period when Jason Kidd was in love with Dwight Powell and started Dwight Powell? Remember that? It was like a year ago. Didn't he start him over Daniel Gafford? I believe he started him over Tyson Chandler. Yes, that's a joke. I'm just saying, like this affinity for Dwight Powell never made any sense to me. So he's a strange rotation guy, not as strange as Steve Kerr, and it's working for Jason Kidd. He was in the finals last year. Doc, I want you to pick one of these three guys to stream Tuesday night when the Mavericks host the Lakers. One of these three guys, pick one of these guys. Spencer Dinwiddie, Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, go.
Without looking at numbers and without acknowledging what happened on Monday, my answer is Dinwiddie. But knowing what I know now, I think I'm going to go Najee Marshall.
Najee had a very good fantasy gold stat line. He had multiples in the very important 3 block steal categories. And Doc, I like, it's like running backs versus wide receivers. I'd rather go with a running back who's going to give me 15 to 20 carries, whereas a wide receiver's probably going to get the catches, but maybe he doesn't. But a running back's definitely going to get the touches. I lean towards the running back in a situation like this. In basketball, I lean towards the starter because when you're a bench guy and you don't have the hot hand, Doc, it's very easy to leave your ass on the bench and go with something else and push another button. When you're in the starting 5, you've got a set rotation in mind, and you want to honor at least the minutes for that guy. So I say Najee Marshall as well. It is Fantasy NBA today. Rick Hamill, Hall of Famer Steve Alexander. We're previewing Tuesday's slate for you right now. And I can't do it. I can't do it. Doc, I was going to maybe cue the Rocky music and hit you with the ba, 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 but I'm not even going to go any farther because we're talking about Zion Williamson here. I don't want to go any farther with that. He hasn't earned. He doesn't deserve the Rocky music. He doesn't even deserve Drago music, dude. He doesn't. He deserves no music. I put out, Will Guillory put something out, Zion is on the practice court, and I put out on Twitter, what? Like, he's playing basketball? Are you serious? Like, I'm so out on Zion and Ja Morant. I'm so out. The Doc, left hamstring strain, questionable for Tuesday. Signs are pointing to him playing in this game. Trey Murphy is going to be out with a left ankle sprain. They need him. Not that that really matters for a team that's completely upside down in the standings right now. But maybe, just maybe, we get the return of Zion Williamson in New Orleans on Tuesday night against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Are you feeling good about this? Are you feeling confident about this? Are you feeling excited about this?
It has no impact on my life. I do not care at all. I will not have him in lineups. I will not put money on him. I will not probably, maybe I'll watch a little bit of that game, but I'm more intrigued that if Trey Murphy's out, is Brandon Boston finally going to do something? Is he finally step up? Or Jordan Hawkins? And so far, I don't trust either one of those guys at all, man. I mean, maybe it'll be a Herb Jones night. CJ McCollum is going to be good. Maybe DeJounte Murray will be better if he plays. Yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited excited to review the Minnesota Timberwolves from Monday night when we get to that later on.
Yeah, and we will. And so one more thing here on Zion, Doc. We should always be looking for buy low, sell high. Even if you don't have to be like all Danny Ainge about it, take 5 minutes, go around your league, send out 5 trade offers. It's not that hard. It's like fishing, okay? You're not emotionally invested in these guys. Don't, oh my God, I didn't get so-and-so. No, you get reject. Who cares? You move on to the next. But this is the game that we play here. Zion Williamson, the hope and goal is that he stays healthy for a minute and gets back up to, 25 points. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and basically nothing else. The Zion line, okay? Then you put out some offers for him. I want you to grab a pen and a little pad of paper or open the note thing in your phone. And because there's no selling high with Zion, what you're going to have to do is hope he rehabs value and sell medium on Zion. There is no selling high with it. Nobody's like, oh my God, I'm paying Rodeo Drive prices for Zion. Said no one ever, okay? You've got to maybe get up to medium. Here are the guys that I want you, assuming he rehabs his value, to offer up Zion Williamson for. Again, write this down. It's PJ Washington. It's Josh Hart. It's Dyson Daniels. And I want to stop right there. Josh Hart and Dyson Daniels are like top 25 players in fantasy, okay? But Zion Williamson is Zion Williamson. Maybe the name prevails over sort of some of the hidden stats by those guys. Just saying. Derek White, Darius Garland, okay? Again, the names aren't huge. The stats are fantastic. Maybe the big name wins the day there. Jarrett Allen, Michael Porter Jr., OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Ivica Zubac. All right, these are the guys I want you to sell medium with Zion Williamson. PJ Washington, Josh Hart, Dyson Daniels, Derek White, Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, Michael Porter Jr., OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, and Ivica Zubac. And if you can't pull off a trade, then hang in there with Zion and just ride it out. But I'd be sending out offers for all those guys, Doc.
I like it, man. I mean, you would have to think, even if we only know that Zion is going to play, that if you send an offer of, I'll give you Zion for PJ Washington, who you paid nothing to get on your team this year, that people would do it. I would think somebody would do it. I would think somebody might do that for Michael Porter Jr., who's not blowing anyone's socks off, but he's solid. He's just rock solid. I think that's a great call, great idea. I'm with you.
That is, I'm glad you dig that, Doc. And again, like Doc said, like Michael Porter Jr., like that guy's probably like, yeah, let me try to upgrade into some Zion, right? Because it's just, you're going with the big name versus sort of the non-big name guy. But it's about the stats. It's not about the name. And who trusts Zion Williamson, even if he comes back for a month, to finish the season? There's no way he finishes the season on the soon-to-be tanking New Orleans Pelicans. The Atlanta Hawks will play at the Utah Jazz in a long, so far unsuccessful road trip for Atlanta, largely because of the Jalen Johnson injury here with the right shoulder soreness that's going to keep him out again Tuesday night at Utah. It's the Quinn Snyder Bowl, former Utah coach, current Hawks coach. It's the John Collins Bowl, former Hawks power forward, and now tanking power forward with the Utah Jazz. So a lot of moving parts here. Jalen Johnson is out. Bogey Bogdanovic is probable. Great news for Hawks fans. Lauri Markkanen on the Utah side, Doc, questionable. Back injury, which means you probably won't play. Jordan Clarkson is out a period of time here with plantar fasciitis in his foot. Keontae George will not play on Tuesday against the Atlanta Hawks. Make sense of this madness for our great audience here on Fantasy NBA Today.
Colin Sexton is going to go off for Utah. And Andre just now pointed out to me that John Collins is out for personal reasons. Maybe those personal reasons are that he does not like the Hawks. I don't know. But I was thinking for a second, with Jalen out and all those guys out for Utah, Lauri Markkanen being iffy, that this is setting up to be a Johnny Collins game. But Johnny Collins is out. So now that sends us back to the drawing board on Utah. And, I mean, Bryce.
Can I interest you in some Bryce Sensabaugh?
And maybe some Johnny Juzang.
I'm not a Juzang guy. I wasn't even.
Not really either, but who's going to play for this team tomorrow?
Bryce Sensabaugh has back-to-back awesome games. Can he do it again? Well, it's Atlanta's defense, and they don't have Jalen Johnson patrolling the wing. I'm kind of into Bryce Sensabaugh right now, Doc.
Me too. I think he's another good DFS value play tomorrow.
Streamer, I don't. Oh my God, I have Bryce Sensabaugh on my team. All of my problems are solved. No, I think. Don't you think he's a fantastic streamer tomorrow night at home against Atlanta?
He should be. And he's available and he's hot. Like it's a perfect storm, really. And And then Walker Kessler should have a big game against the Hawks, I would think.
Hey, Doc, I have a question for. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What's up?
Oh, it's all.
How many blocks does Clint Capella have in his last 10 games?
Do you know the answer?
I actually don't, but as a Capella manager, I have a very good idea.
I'm going to say,
give me your best shot.
I'm going to say 3 or 4.
Oh, wow. How many?
3 or 4? I'm not a Capella guy, so I haven't been paying attention.
I have to because I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's look here. We've got wow. Okay, so the blocks have vaporized recently. I said last 10 games. He had when you go all the way back to 10, 9, 8, he was at 7 blocks in those games. Over the last 7 games, he has 2 blocks. Okay, so I went back a little bit too far with that, but the point is made. 2 blocks in his last 7 games. Doc, who would you rather have on your fantasy team right now? Yves Missi? I didn't say the S. Yves Missi or Clint Capella? Who would you rather have on your fantasy team right now?
There's only one Eve in Eve. I'd rather have Eve.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I'd rather have Eve Missi because the Kongwu is back, and now, he's going to split time with Capella, and they're just doing their thing. By the way, did you notice that? Well, I don't know if it's permanent, but the last time I looked, your boy Quinn Snyder dumped the red glasses, the red frames for black. Dude,
Right.
I am not a red framed glasses guy on a dude kind of guy. It just doesn't work.
It was PJ Fleck-esque. PJ Fleck, the head coach of the Golden Gophers, my Golden Gophers, is so cheesy and gimmicky and corny with his little tie and all of his little stuff and row the boat and all these little slogans. It's so cheesy, man. It's like just miss me with all that. And Quinn Snyder with the red glasses, it was so PJ Fleck. It was gimmicky, it was corny, it was cheesy. I'm so glad he changed that down.
Colin Sexton should go off in this game unless they drape Dyson Daniels on him. Then he might have a little bit of a problem. And it's easy, man. For years you could just be like, oh, they're playing the Hawks. The Hawks don't play defense. But with Dyson Daniels and Jalen usually around, it's not really that much that way anymore. And also, DeAndre Hunter must play player tomorrow.
If all these Utah mofos are out, we could probably go to a little Kyle Filipowski as well as a desperation streamer if you need a big. Doc, on Tuesday night, as we continue previewing these games on Fantasy NBA Today, we get the Miami Heat at the Golden State Warriors. You're like, wait a minute. The Jimmy Butler Bowl? Maybe. The Athletic reports Jimmy Butler and the Warriors seem like a natural fit, as I've been saying. But the Warriors are not seriously pursuing Butler, according to Anthony Slater, Sam Amick, and Marcus Thompson of The Athletic. Sam Amick, my boy. I shout him out. Am I surprised by this? I'm a little surprised by this, yes. The Warriors, to me, are being a little bit too loyal to their young guys. Their Wiggins, not really a young guy, but you get the point. And a Poge and a Kuminga. They could have flipped one of those guys for Markkanen in the offseason. They didn't want to do it. I think that was a mistake. I'm not a Jimmy Butler guy, but their ship is taking on water. They're sinking, okay? They're dying right now. They are literally bleeding out on the battlefield into oblivious mediocrity and maybe not even a top 10 spot. That's where Golden State's headed right now. Ton of injuries. The injuries continue to pile up. Yeah, going at Jimmy Butler actually kind of makes some sense for this dying carcass of a dynastic team, okay? But they don't want to do it. So, yes, that surprises me a little bit. Now, you would not have to give up Kuminga to do this trade. I promise you, Pat Riley just wants to get rid of Jimmy Butler. He is no longer in an advantageous leverage position. Riley is a get the F out of here position. Wiggins would be who you flipped. I mean, it's debatable right now, but Jimmy Butler gives the Warriors, in theory, upside, sexiness, maybe a little bit of dangerous, okay? Because you'd have Steph, you'd have Jimmy Butler, Draymond, you'd have Kuminga, you'd have Podziemski, you'd have Trace Jackson Davis, you got some dudes there, okay? And Wiggins is just kind of like a good player. Jimmy Butler has the chance, I think, maybe, Doc, is there still a great player in there? But talk to me about the could be Jimmy Butler Bowl.
Dude, it's Jimmy Butler. I'm over it. The 7-game suspension should have given me/us a Jimmy Butler reprieve, but now we have to speculate about how this soap opera is going to end. I
said more fun than watching him play.
It is. I'll give you that. I kind of feel like he might end up with Phoenix after the shakeup and the Bradley Beal benching. I mean, I don't know how all the pieces work, and I think a third team would have to be involved. It's just awful. I'll tell you what, Nikola Jovic looks good tonight playing for the Heat. I think he's the guy to kind of roll with in Jimmy's stead here, in Jimmy's absence.
Can you imagine if they flipped Bradley Beal, who, by the way, the Miami Heat have lusted after for years? Same division as Washington, going back to when Beal was an absolute badass with the Wizards. The Heat have always loved Bradley Beal. I'm down with that, Doc. And I mean, you're kind of trading trash for trash, or I say that loosely. I mean, these aren't, Jimmy Butler's probably a Hall of Famer. Beal's probably a Hall of Famer. They're not trash, but contract-wise, what they're giving right now, all the missed games, that's why I said that, but it's not a perfectly accurate word, obviously. But, just at this point, it changes scenery. That, like, all this talk about Bradley Beal being a better teammate, right? Are you serious, dude? Like, how did he not understand that he was going to Phoenix to be the third guy? How did he not understand that? Like, if there's reports about you not being a great teammate, that means you have been having a problem with your role. Bro, you play with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and you play every other game. And you think you're going to go down to Phoenix and eat the same amount of food at the dinner table that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker eat? Are you mad? Have you lost your mind? Dude, the arrogance, man. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? How do you not understand that assignment, dude?
I don't know. And Jimmy Butler going up head-to-head against Pat Riley. You think you're going to win that battle? The arrogance. Are you mad? Are you insane? It's the same thing, man. Both of those guys,
Story, Doc,
I just
about
want
Pat
to be
Riley.
over.
I got a story about Pat Riley against players, Doc. You hit it on the head. Dude, Pat Riley went gangster on LeBron James. Before LeBron James left Miami, I got this from an incredible source. I will not say this gentleman's name, but he has ties to the Heat going way back. Hell, he's got ties to everybody in the entire NBA going way back. This man told me that LeBron James told Pat Riley, it's me or Spo. And Pat Riley said, thank you. Bye-bye. I'm paraphrasing, but chose Spo over LeBron James. LeBron tried to big boy Pat Riley, and Pat Riley said, goodbye, LeBron James. This is my franchise. It's Heat culture, which is Pat Riley culture, and this is how we're doing it. And so if we miss out on some championships to preserve our culture, then that's what we're going to do. And LeBron James went, did he go back to Cleveland after Miami? Why am I blanking on this right now? He did, and then he went to LA. So he went back to Cleveland at that point. But yes, if LeBron James was unsuccessful trying to big boy Pat Riley, Jimmy Butler has no shot. And LeBron had 2 championships. LeBron had 2 championships under Pat Riley at that point, Doc. And Pat Riley said, love you, bro. may or may not put a statue out front of you. I don't know. We still got to figure that out. But all right, let's move on here, dude. Where did I want to go from here? On the Golden State side, Doc, Jonathan Kuminga is out for at least the next 11 games. And Steve Kerr's rotation when they lost by 30, what was it to Sacramento the other night? Didn't Sacramento bludgeon them and take their heads off by 30 points? Steve Kerr played, Doc, maybe the worst box score of the year. He played 12 guys at least 12 minutes. 12 guys. 12 guys.
Yeah. Wiggins should be good. Dennis Schroeder should be good.
He was
Trace Jackson Davis wasn't either.
Good point.
So I don't know, man. I can't figure out what is going on. But Schroeder and Wiggins should be sure things, along with Curry. Other than that, it's going to be a bunch of triple singles. Lots of triple singles in Golden State, dude.
No doubt, dude. No doubt. They're deep. They've had a lot of injuries, man. All right, so before we get into the game of the night here, Celtics at Nuggets, make sure you download the SportsEthos app. It's completely free. Keeps you updated on all the news that impact your fantasy teams. Plus, you'll get the tools included that will give you the edge in your fantasy basketball league. Grab it from your favorite app store, the SportsEthos app, and continue to dominate with us. All right. Boston at Denver. Aaron Gordon will not play in this game. It is his 7th straight DNP with the right calf strain. Russell Westbrook will continue to do like his 12, 6, and 8 with a couple of steals. Fantastic stat lines he's been putting up. Very good news for Jason Tatum that Aaron Gordon will not play. Probably would have been a Tatum game anyway. It's a road game and a big road game. He always plays well in those games. But with no Aaron Gordon, he may pop for like a 38 on Tuesday night. And Doc, I want to throw out a like random DFS or point prop I'll just leave it at point prop. I don't really trust Derek White with the PRA, points, rebounds, and assists because he could go like 21 points, 2-2, or he could go 6-6. It just I don't feel like those stats are is count-onable as points, okay? And Derek White usually is a very consistent scorer. Last game, Sunday, in the loss to OKC, he sucked. He scored 11 points, he made 4 of 13 shots, and he made 2 of 11 from downtown. He ain't going out like that. This is going to be a good matchup for him against Denver. He rises in big games, and I think he's going to have a bounce-back game. So what you got here, Doc, on Boston at Denver as the Celtics continue a very, very fun road trip here?
Derek White's 3-pointers should be at 3.5, and I like the over there against Denver. I do like that, and I think this is a triple-double. This is a national TV TNT triple-double for Jokic. I think we can probably put that on the board. Maybe Al Horford will be there to try to stop him, but I think this is a monster Jokic game coming our way.
How about Jamal Murray? Can I interest you in some Jamal Murray in this game?
Against Drew Holiday and Derek White? No, thank you.
I asked that to say if it were the Lakers, would you be into Jamal Murray tomorrow on Tuesday night?
Yes.
Exactly.
And I bet you, I mean, the Boston backcourt defense is not unbeatable. Murray could have a great game. I'm not betting against Holiday and Derek White. But I do like Derek White to hit 4 3-pointers tomorrow. Man, he's sneaky good from beyond the arc.
He is. And I love the bailout Derek White 3. Nothing's going on. Brown is jammed up or Tatum is jammed up. 3-2-1 on the shot clock. Derek White catches the 9-1 ball from like 28 and splashes it. That's the Derek White shot. The completely bail out the team shot. He's got him. He's like a human safety net for the Boston Celtics. What an acquisition by Brad Stevens at the deadline recently here. Guys, thank you for tuning into this episode. Doc and I will be back tomorrow night, right after the games. Catch us live on the Sports Ethos YouTube channel or find us on Fantasy NBA Today, our podcast feed. For our great producer, Andre Lemouche, for the great Dr. A, I am Rick Hamlin. This show was presented by Bet Online. Good luck on Tuesday night.